need you, girl. I really wanna know your name. Welcome to Intimate Conversations. This is a place where men and women come to share their perspectives, their life journeys, things of that nature to improve upon the gender wars and or of safe space to vent in whatever you're going through. So tell the people your name and where you're from.
My name is Desiree. I am from Frankfurt all day long.
All right, and how old are you?
Oh my God. I'll be,
Why do all girls hate this question?
I don't know because it's like, do I really know how old I am or do I not want to tell? It's like, no, I'm 37.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start at the beginning so I can see, how things play out. All right.
Mhm.
So in your upbringing, like do you come from single parent or you have siblings? How is your upbringing?
No, actually, I came from a two-parent home. I'm a church girl. My parents are deacon and deaconess of the church. I have an older brother and an older sister from my mom, and then I have an older brother from my dad.
All right. So if I could remember the church thing, all right, was you in
Mhm.
church like 4 times a week? How many times was you in
God, I lived in church. Like church was
Right.
our thing. Like yeah.
Okay. Okay. So are you close with your siblings? Are you cool or are you more close with your parents? How does your family dynamic break down?
Yeah, yeah. So I just moved my parents down to Delaware from Philly. They
Okay.
live like 5 minutes from me. My two siblings I talk to every day. We were brought up on family is everything. So even though I'm the baby, I'm like the oldest.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. So how did you watching your parents, how did that play a role in how you handle boys? Like when boys try to talk to you?
So my father is my everything. Anybody that knows me knows that. My father is like my superhero, right? So when it came to dating, it was certain stuff that I wasn't allowing because my father gave me the world. And still to this day, my dad gave me the world. So it was things that I wouldn't been doing. My dad, he's been a provider forever. Um, he gets up and he get it. 6 a.m. My dad out the house. He take care of home. My mom, she just basically maintained it. So yeah.
All right. At what age would you just say you started messing with boys or it became a thing?
um, 16.
16, 16.
Hmm.
You feel like it was like puppy love or you was just talking? How do you feel like, your first experience was?
No, no. I actually have three kids by the guy I was talking to. I was 16, unfortunately. But yeah, no. It wasn't puppy love. Actually, it was just like we started out as friends. Because first of all, hold up, I thought I was gonna be gay. I don't know
Mm.
why. I thought I was gonna be a dyke, but I had the two braids. I was in the basketball. He was my best friend. We
Okay.
played basketball together. We went to every single school together, and we ended up dating, having kids, and I think after we broke up, um, I caught my whole face then.
All right, before we go to the whole page,
Listen,
what was the breaking point? What was the breaking point?
with him,
Yeah.
it was just like so. I used to work night shift. Ladies do not work night shift. If you do, that's on you. But every relationship that I got cheated on working night shift. So I used to work night shift, and I think that he had too much time on his hands, and he was doing crazy stuff. So the breaking point was I was pregnant with my middle child, Nyla, And he was just doing the most. Like, he was just doing too much. And I knew that it was time to go when I was just like, I'm gonna kill this nigga. Like, so I planned it out, everything I was gonna do, but God was on my side because the point where I felt like I was gonna kill him, God removed him and he sent him to jail. And he was sentenced to 16 months in a boot camp. So I rolled for him up until his 12th month. And our sense of a letter was like, listen, I got you to this point, but when you come home, there is no us. Right. So we had a house together. I ended up leaving my house and moving in with my parents right before he was about to come home. And I sent him the letter, was like, that's it, we're done. Like, that's it, we're done. He didn't believe it though. But from that point on, we were done.
How did he receive the letter? Like, did you care?
Oh,
did you care or
yeah, he cared. But like, he just thought like, all right, she's just seeing this, but when I come home from jail, we gonna be together. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? We was together for so long. We were kids, we had kids. Right. And it just was like, yeah, she lying. But I wasn't lying, I was serious. So he came home, he drawled for a while. He drawled real bad for a while.
I'm gonna make him not want to be with her type shit. And motherfucking like, if they just in the crib, I know he in the crib or some shit, I'm coming, I'm knocking on the door. If niggas don't answer, I'm climbing on the balcony and shit. You know my excuse gonna be when I'm on the balcony and shit, I'm trying to see my daughter.
Open the door, I wanna see my son right now.
Call the police. You one of them baby
I'm trying to see my daughter.
I'm trying to see my daughter.
And then he finally was like, all right, enough is enough. And he got with his girl who he's with now, who he's married with right now. But yeah, it was wild for a while.
All right, so do y'all co-parent now?
We do. We co-parent now, yeah. We still best friends because before we was anything, we were best friends. And a lot of people can't take that. And we beef a lot. But again, my oldest is 19, so.
Okay. All right, so do you think that this was a case of y'all both was young? So like that working overnight thing, it's a thing because that's normally cuddle time and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So that's like that could bring an issue, especially if you're young and you're not mature enough to handle that kind of shit. Do you think that that played a part in it?
I do. I think that, and we was young. He was getting it. He was trapping. He was getting it. And I think like he just was feeling himself, and so he ended up having a baby while I was pregnant. So me and the girl was pregnant together, and I actually have his daughter right now. She stayed with me right now. But he ended up having a baby, and we were pregnant together. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. But I think working so much and trapping and getting it, back in the day, it was easy to get girls. Like, right. So I think that was like played a part in it. Yeah.
All right. So now, as you went outside to this whole phase, right?
Listen, I was like, my cousin. She was like, "We going outside," because I never went outside. Once again, I was with him. I was into the church. Right. So I never really went outside. So my cousin, she was like, "We going outside. This is what you going to do. You going to get your hair done. We going outside." So we went outside and we went to the bar. And when I went outside, listen, the tension was there. The boys was around, and my cousin was like, "Listen, do you?" And I did. I did. I wilded out for a while. Like I wilded out for like a while. And it was on some like I don't want a relationship because I was in a relationship for so long. Like I'm just going to be me. I'm gonna have fun, but then every time I thought that, I ended up in like a relationship.
Okay.
But it always was like, because then right after that I had my son Aiden, and that was like a drawn out relationship. That wasn't a relationship, but whatever. But yeah.
All right. So during that phase, did you feel liberated?
No.
No.
No. I felt like, you know what? I felt like this is fun. This is new. Let's do this. Yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah.
And how long did this last?
This lasted for like 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. All right.
Hmm.
So how many kids did you have at this point, and how many kids you got total now?
So biologically, I have 3 kids.
Okay.
I have 3 kids and 2 baby fathers.
Okay.
And then um, I have 3 adopted kids and 1 kid that's by him that's not by me, but
All right. All right. So how did the adoption thing come into play? Like, did you just wait? Was it kids that you knew, or is it just
No,
like it's
no, I
something that
didn't
you
know
wanted
them.
to
So
do?
I used to have my niece as a kinship. And then my niece left, and then she went on to do her own thing. And then a worker was like, "Can you not close your home?" And I did not close my house. And then I started doing fostering. I fostered about 10 different kids that like came and left. And then I got the 2 that I adopted. I had the little brother first, Kareem, and
All right.
then they went and found his older brother, and they've been with me ever since.
All right. So in fostering kids, sometimes they could have behavior issues, things of that nature.
Child, yes,
What
yes.
is your stories on what's the worst things that happen, behavior wise with the
Oh
foster
my God. Listen, first of all, let me
kids? Did
tell
you
you
have any
something.
runaways?
Listen, no. Actually they don't run away. I haven't had a
Okay.
runaway, but I had a fire starter.
Mhm.
My son Kareem now, he has like, oh my God, he's been kicked out of so many schools. He's aggressive.
Turn us on! Hey! Hey! Seatbelts! No fighting!
They say he got ADHD. But my oldest, first of all, when you get to foster care, right, you have to have the heart for it because
Right.
you have to rebuild these children. And people look at it and be like, "Oh, these people just doing it for a check, honey." It's not about the money because nothing that they can give you can pay you back for the pain and suffering that you go through and endure. Cannot pay you back from the time that you're gonna lose at work. They cannot
Right.
pay you back when you get these children. They are broken. Okay, they are
Right.
coming from homes where they're being maybe abused, neglected, sexually assaulted. Like these kids has been traumatized, and when they bring
Right.
you to them, they lie. They say, "Oh, I got this kid that is so good, it's so perfect," and then you get them in your house, and this little Chucky. So,
Right.
and then it's not like they bring them to you, and you could call and say, "Yo, this not working out." It's a whole process to get these kids out of your homes.
Right.
So, and then if you already have children in your home, like you exposing your kids to these behaviors, so you have to be mentally prepared and you have to have a heart for it.
Right.
So, I have experienced so much with the adoption program, like the foster caring.
Right.
But it's rewarding. It is rewarding. And my son, he graduated. He's working at FedEx. He's doing well. So it's just a
So
little one
is
that
it
I'm.
is it a long process? Like, is it like several in-house meetings and things of that nature? Is it a long
Yes,
process
stay in your
to get?
business all the time. If you have a good worker, okay? Because
Right.
it's some workers that drop these kids off and you won't hear from them. You
Right.
won't even hear if the kid is breathing, you won't hear from them.
Mhm.
But they're supposed to technically come out to your house. They're supposed to visit every other week or at least
Right.
twice a month
Right.
to do a wellness check.
All right. So do you think that your parents and growing up like in the church that prepared you for this?
Hell no. But no, my mom took on. My mom had took on 4 of my little cousins, who I call my brothers and sisters. So I had
Right.
saw my mom take care of kids that wasn't hers. But I don't think that you can ever be mentally prepared for something.
Right. So how do you find the patience? Like, how do you have patience in this shit?
Listen, I always ask God. I think that's my calling. I think kids is my calling because
Okay.
I really honestly don't know, but kids gravitate to me. Like even at work, when I'm at work, I work in an emergency room. Kids
Right.
gravitate to me. They just attach themselves to me. Even like with my family members, everybody child call me mommy does. I don't know
Right.
why, but that's just what they do. They call me mommy does.
Okay.
I think that I found patience in this with my oldest son. He's 20 now. because of the things that I had to learn. I had to learn myself as well as learn him.
Right.
So I think that, and raising my little brother was just like, well, who's my cousin that's like my little brother? Raising him taught me patience, taught me how to be kind. Everybody nowadays are doing this gentle parenting thing.
Yeah, I hate that shit. But go ahead.
Let me tell y'all something. Gentle parenting don't work here. These kids are hoodlums, okay?
Fact.
Gentle parenting, they're thugs. I can say to my kids, clean the kitchen, clean the kitchen, clean the motherfucking kitchen. That's when they gonna clean the kitchen.
That's how it goes.
They not gonna clean the kitchen unless you yell.
Right.
But I think I found the patience by just being in it.
All right. So how was the conversations between you and your biological kids? Like, how was that conversation for them to be on board with the other kids?
So, my kids, honestly, they just was like, first they was just like, Mom, who is these people and why are they here?
Right.
but then my kids just was like, because it was just the girls, so they
Right.
just was like, all right, so now we got some brothers, what's up? So now they just with it. But when I moved to Delaware, we ended up getting one of my daughter friends she worked with, and they just was like, now when they go to school, they just be like, my mama take you in, don't worry about it. No, I won't. No, I can't. No, I can't. my mom got you, don't worry about it. No.
Now they just putting kids on you.
Now this is just like, listen, you hungry? My mom got you. What's up? But no. I don't think I would ever do it again, honestly, because I'm telling you, like I said, like these kids are different now. When we were growing up, then now these kids are different.
Right.
They are different.
All right. So I know that you're married now, but before we get to that, how was your relationships, with you, and now you got these kids? How did your relationships play?
So I was one of the moms, you don't know my kids and my kids don't know you. I was like, I'm gonna come see you and that's that. Like, you ain't gonna come see me, you ain't gonna come see my children. And if I do come see you, 6:00, my Uber outside, I'm going. And I always drove, but I never drove to them. Like, I don't want you to know, like, this ain't that. But everyone gravitates to my kids for some reason, especially my son Aiden. Like, everyone just like they gravitate to him, and yeah, no.
Okay. All right. So how did you come about your current partner? How did y'all meet? How did that whole thing happen?
So my husband is my friend's friend. He was friends with my homies, and I went to a bar or something like that. And he jumped in my DM, and then we started talking from there. And it was like in the process of me getting over my I don't even know what they call it. It wasn't even like my boyfriend. It was just like, I don't even know. We were just with each other, I guess. But I was just tired. I was tired of.
Y'all was attached, but y'all wasn't together.
Yeah, we was attached, like, and I was just tired of like going through the nonsense with him. Like, he was like on some I'm gonna break you down and then try to build you up type, and I wasn't like, I was just like over it. Like, he was like doing like dumb stuff and just to get a reaction out of me, but I was just like, this is too much. So yeah, I was in a, like, to the point where I was like, enough is enough. So, and we always would just like cut each other off and then end up back together. So it was one of them times where we like cut each other off, and then I was like, you know what, enough is enough. So yeah, he slid my DM and we started talking, and then COVID happened.
Right.
I ended up getting COVID, working in an emergency room, but it wasn't COVID back then because they didn't know what it was. I was sick as shit. And he took care of me. He took care of me. I was at his house. I was staying there because I didn't want to get my kids sick. And then the world shut down. And then we started staying together. And then I went through one of the hardest parts of my life. Like I was in the worst season of my freaking life. My little brother, who is like my son, got shot. And he was just like, listen. And I knew from the fact I'm not taking my kids back because my brother got shot at my house. And I'm like, I'm not taking my kids back there. And he was just like, fuck it, let's rock out. You all can come stay here.
Right.
And it's just been up from there.
So, describe Frankfurt for people.
It's Hawaii. You need a passport to get there. So we moved to Frankfurt in '95. I'm from Germantown. Well, I was born in Germantown, but then we moved to Frankfurt in '95. Frankfurt was decent. Like you moved to Frankfurt, you was winning.
Right.
And then times changed. They let Section 8 come in, and Frankfurt went downhill.
Right.
But Frankfurt was popping. Like it was like the Northeast basically.
Right.
But
right,
I don't know, for some reason everybody hates Frankfurt. They say Frankfurt is ghetto, it's dirty, it's this and the third. Right? I'm from Frankfurt.
I think it's just certain sections of it.
Facts. That's everywhere.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
Everywhere.
Right. There's nice sections, and then there's sections where some shit might happen.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So that was the determining factor in you moving from Frankfurt to Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. When my little brother got shot, I was just like, I'm out.
So where did that happen at?
Frankfurt.
But I mean, was it like around your way? Like, where did it happen at?
At my house. Listen, I was going to Target. It was Sunday at 11 a.m. And me and my little sister is in the car. Right. And, Citizens Act goes off. I look down at my leg. Mind you, I'm driving. I look down at my phone, and I see my house plastered all over Citizens. And then my neighbors are calling me off of Facebook.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, that was the worst day of my life.
Right. So where did he get shot at, though? Like, where on his body?
He got shot 17 times. Crazy. Everywhere. By 3 different guns.
Craziness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how did the kids take when you said we out?
Listen, first of all, they were just like, my kids is with whatever I'm with. They were just like, all right, we out. But then when we moved down here, I felt like my kids hated me. Like I felt like they were okay with it in the beginning. Right. But then when they realized, because again, I told you we're a close-knit family. All my family is in Philly. Right. And they cousins and they schools and they friends. But mind you, when we moved down here, it was online school. Right. And it was the pandemic. Right. So when it hit them that they had to basically rebuild, they have to go back to school, they have to meet new friends. And their cousins can't come over because now we're an hour and 45 minutes away. So their cousins can't come over. So that was a process. Just getting them to adapt. But now that they adapt, they lost their minds. You might as well take them back to Philly. You might as well just go ahead, pack them up, sit them back down in North Philly and watch them survive. Because they off the hook down here. They off the hook.
So they in Delaware running shit.
Listen, I just had to get my daughter from the police district today. Okay, 2 of them. So the police officer know my name. I'm like, but yeah, my kids. So when we first moved to Delaware, it was the pandemic, and they were doing the online school. So then when my kids went back to school, and mind you, my kids went to private school. My kids went to Little Flower and DePaul Catholic. So they went to Catholic school. So then my kids started coming down here. We moved down here, and then my kids went to a normal, regular high school. Right. It was new to them. It's boys here. It wasn't boys there. It's boys here. I don't got no ugly looking kids. But then the boys started being into them. And then my daughter started playing basketball. And then she started talking to one of the best basketball players on the team. My kids got jumped. And I'm like, what the fuck? what is happening? And my cousins and them was mad because we anybody that know us know that we don't get down like that. We bust back.
Right.
But I had to let my kids learn because I wanted them to learn that you gotta fight.
Right.
You got to fight. Like
Right.
you ain't going, no, you gonna fight. So and my daughter wasn't listening to me. I was trying to tell her, like, all right, if y'all gonna rumble, make sure y'all know what's going on. Like y'all new around here, y'all new kids. And my daughter, she's real high headed, and I'm the type of person, like, I set my karma. My Nala is my karma. Nala, now I'm surprised I'm not in the crazy house right now because Nala is off the hook, but she's not reckless. She just 16 and she's trying to find herself and she's doing 16-year-old stuff. But my Nala, she's so short tempered. She like me. If you want to fight, we gonna fight.
Right.
So I was trying to tell her, like, so the kids came to our crib.
Right.
I'm in the kitchen washing dishes, and I just got my carpets clean, so all my furniture is up. So I'm locked in the kitchen. I see my kids run out the door, and I'm like, well, what the hell my kids going outside for? By the time I get outside, they on the lawn, they getting it in, they rumbling.
Right.
But I'm trying to tell Nala, like, yo, like, get back, because you don't know. It's so many, and you don't know. And my son was the only boy out there, and I see boys jumping out the car. So my first instance was, my one daughter, she's not a fighter. She's going to tell you, I'm not a fighter. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to get my money. I ain't got time for this. Right. But she just got braces. I just paid all this money for some braces. So my first thing is get her little ass, scoop her in the house, and then go get my son because it's too many boys. And I don't know what type of time these boys on. So let me go get my son. But my Nala, she already done started it. She done ran out there. They rumbling. I'm trying to get my little one in the house and get my son. But it was a mess. But I'm like, I moved my kids from Philly to Delaware for this. So my cousins and them get wind of it, and they like, no, we coming down, we spinning the block. And my husband, he on his way. He go around, he like, they came here, they wanted to fight y'all. Oh, we going around here. So he tell them, let's get in the car, we going to their house. Right. I'm trying to tell them, yo, Delaware ain't got nothing better to do. They will lock you up. You go to jail down here. Ain't no holding cells. You going to jail. Right. So I was like, and then I was in the process of buying this house, and I'm working. I'm like, I can't afford to go to jail over no little kids fights. Right. But yeah, it's wild down here. It's wild.
All right. So how did you handle that mental stress, from your little brother getting shot? Then move
God, baby. God. I don't know. Because I still got PCDS because of that. Because like I can't be around a large crowd. Like, and when I come to Philly, like when I come to Philly, I come in and out. Like it always hits me when I get to the city. Like damn, like, you know what I'm saying? But that was like one of the scariest moments of my life because not only did I visually see it, it just was like, I can't believe this is happening. And it was a pandemic, and they wasn't letting nobody in the hospital. So I was like, I can't even hold my little brother and tell him that he's going to be okay. I don't even know if he is okay. I don't even know what's going on with him. And then I just was like, yo, it was just like terrible. So I'm at work and I'm saving lives and my little brother fighting for his life. So I'm just like all over the place. Like mentally, I was exhausted. Like I was literally exhausted. But God is a miracle worker. He brought me out that situation. And my little brother ended up coming out the hospital, and I ended up taking care of him. And unfortunately, he got caught up in the streets, and I lost him to the streets. I lost him to the system. I didn't lose him to the streets.
Okay. All right. So what are you telling your kids during that time, though?
I'm just telling my kids, like, yo, like, I'm just telling them, like, yo, you gotta pray. My kids not understanding, like, they just couldn't understand, like, who and what and why, like, why, like, who would want to kill him? That's what they kept asking, like, who, what, and why. And I was just telling my son. So my oldest son, he's 20. So he tells me because of my little brother getting shot that I have, like, he said, like, I shelter him. I don't let him do anything. And I take, I take what my brother and put it on him. And I'm like, no, it's not because of that. It's just that. So the situation with my brother is like, I cut him off. I'm like, I'm tired. You not listening. You do whatever you want to do. And I felt like if I didn't cut my little brother off and I was more like over top of him, this wouldn't happen. But I came to realize that it still would have happened even if I was over top of him, because you can't stop the hand. You can't stop the hand of time. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen. So with my son, I'm like, I try to keep him as close to me as possible. But now I feel like I can't, because he's 20 now. Soon he's going to be out. He's going to be like, Mom, I'm going out. So I'm telling my kids, like, yo, we're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. We're going to figure it out. And then at the time, we went from living in our own space to moving into my husband's 2-bedroom house. And, I had 5 kids at the time. But then I turned up to having 6 kids. And then my little brother came to stay with us. When I say it was crazy, it was crazy.
Right.
It was crazy.
So are you done having kids?
Oh, hell yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So does your husband have kids?
He do. He have a son.
All right. So what y'all looking at total?
8 kids.
So how does that play like with privacy?
There's none. My kids are so clingy, right? And my husband comes from, it's just him and his son. Right. And if it's not just him and his son, he at home by himself doing his own thing. But now he coming into my family, where so my son Aiden and Nala is used to sleeping with me and being with me. And then, like, if I come home, all my kids come piling into my room. My kids want to see me. They want to see what happened at work. They want to talk to me. They got things going on with their lives. So, it's barely any privacy.
Are you still doing overnights?
Hell no. No. So no, I only work weekends now. Okay. I work 7 A to 7 P. So I'm home during the week. But no overnights. Hell no.
All right. So how's the relationship with the husband? Like, how did you know this was the guy? Like, how did you know that? All right, this is a different kind of love than my past relationships.
See, I didn't know. I didn't know, and I'm still saying to myself, like, is this for real? Like, I didn't know. I felt like because he was there for me through the worst time of my life, I felt like that he thugged it out with me through the worst. When I say it was the worst season of my life, it was the very worst season of my life. He thugged it out with me. Not only did he thug it out with me, he thugged it out with my children, because he just was like, all right, y'all come stay with me. We're going to figure this out. And mind you, it was his 2-bedroom house. So I was like, all right. But I felt like that, like he really, like he was there. So let's just do this shit.
Right. All right, so now I think I remember from seeing these wedding pictures. Mm-hmm. There were some sneakers involved, I believe, right?
Of course, you already know. You already know how I'm bumming. You already know how I'm bumming.
All right, so how did that come about that you did the sneakers thing with the wedding?
Because I was I was a tomboy all my life, right? I don't do high heels, and if I do high heels, it's for a quick second. So, and I'm like, yo, we gonna keep for real. I really, honestly, truthfully wanted to just be me and him and just go get married, because like I really didn't care about the people. Like I really didn't care about that. But and then another thing is my husband is Muslim and I am Christian, and I'm like, I just didn't want to do the extra stuff. But I'm like, so if we gonna get married, we gonna get married like us. We're not gonna do all the extra stuff. So I'm like, I'm throwing some J's on. Like I'm putting some J's on and we getting married. And that's just what it was. And I told my girls, I'm like, y'all ain't gotta put no heels on. Let's throw some sneakers on. So I was going to wear my Converses at first that I made. Right. So that's why the girls had on Converses. But then I was like, no, I'm going to find me some J's. And then just so happened the white and purple ones dropped. So I was like, all right, bet.
All right. So I wanted to ask, since he's Muslim, did y'all have like a pastor? Did y'all do your own vows? How did y'all do that?
Yeah, we did. We had a pastor. We had my pastor.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And how's it going? How's married life?
So, only the strong survives. Only the strong survive. So I'm a spoiled brat, right? All right. And if something doesn't go my way, I'm like, fuck you, I'm out. And that's just always been me. Like I always been one of the persons that I'm not going to tolerate or put up with anything that I don't have to. But when you marry, it's different. You gotta talk about it.
You gotta compromise.
Yeah. You got. So me and my husband is totally different, right? I am one of the persons like I'm cool. Like if you did something to me, like I'm cool. I'm cool off you. My husband is not. He's like, what's the problem? How we gonna fix it? Let's talk about it, and we're gonna talk about it right now. So I had to adapt to that. Because I came from dealing with a lot of petty niggas that was like, if you ain't talking to me, I ain't talking to her. Let me go on a date and throw up a picture. He not like that. Right. He not like that at all. And it used to bother me like, damn, why he acting like this? Why we not talk about it? Like what? But no. Yeah, no.
All right. So now how many teens is it now?
How many what?
Like, how many teens is in the house?
Teens, how many teens? We got 4.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you that my daughter's 21 now. When my daughter was a teen, my daughter had this thing where she like attached herself to all the girls who were like runaways or adopted, or it was always like these extreme issues with all her friends. That was her thing. Like that was just her thing. She would bring them home and then she would tell me, she would be like, Dad, because she would see this in her friends. She would be like, just let me be free. Like, let me do whatever I want to do. Like,
that's Nala.
Right.
That's Nala.
Yeah, and I would be like, no, we're not doing that. I would be
that's Nala.
I would be like, you got parents and we're not doing that. I'm not going to allow you to just roam the streets free.
Yep, that's Nala. Yep, that's Nala. So I have this thing where though I don't allow my children to spend the night out at nobody's houses, right? Because I don't know what's going on at these people's houses. Right. So yeah, they can come to the crib, they can chill here, whatever. Nala don't understand it. She wants to be in these streets. Right. And Nala wants to be some reason, some way, somehow, Nala became this wild party girl, right? So we lived in Delaware, and we lived by this college called DSU. Right. She went to her first college party, and she haven't stopped going.
DSU, I'm an alumni.
Oh, she has not stopped going to the point I'm looking on the camera. They crawling on the ground. I see you. What are you doing? Sneaking out the house. I see you. I see you. Get up. What are you doing? Right. They coming in 2:30 in the morning. My husband, he called me because he ride past, he see my car. So we live by the Waffle House. So they leave DSU and they go to the Waffle House. He called me. He like, you at the Waffle House? I'm like, I'm home in the bed. Right. Well, your car at the Waffle House. All the kids at the Waffle House. They snuck out, went to the party at DSU, then went to the Waffle House. So I'm like, yeah, Nala, she's my wildest child. Oh, okay. She is my wildest child.
All right, so what was the issue? Why were they at the police station?
So Nala and Anaya, so they freaking Frank. They the same age. That's the one with the girl was pregnant with me. Okay. They are freaking Frank. So they decided. So you know how the Eagles and the Cowboys beef. Right. So down here, they high school and Dover High School beefs. Okay. So they decided we're gonna go into Dover and we're gonna run through the school and take videos and tell them we was there. Right. I don't know why they did it, but that's what they did. So they decided to leave school and go to the police station. Leave school and go to Dover High School and run through the school. They get caught.
Right.
Because Delaware have nothing better to do than catch you guys. So they got caught and they got locked up for trespassing.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how do you get the daughter from the girl who was pregnant at the same time as you? How did that come together?
So she used to come over my house for the summertime. And she came over one time and she just never left. I don't know what else to say.
And the mom was just like, "You got it."
Pretty much. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. So which siblings bump heads the most?
None of them.
Okay.
None of my kids fight each other. The only time it is a fight is Nala and Aiden.
Okay.
Nala and Aiden. None of them fights. None of they lay under each other. They love on each other. They just not fight each other at all.
So how do you find some self-care time for yourself?
Honey,
Like,
I don't. I don't. I try. My time away is at work, to believe it or not. Like, I look forward to going to work. Like, I can't wait to get out of here and go to work. I can't wait to get away to go to work. But yeah, if I leave to go to the hairdresser or maybe go get my nails done or something like that. But yeah, no.
All right. So being as though you're married now, what did you learn the most from your past relationships?
Don't believe these niggas.
Dude, it's crazy that you said that, because even me being a guy, I always say, why you believing niggas?
Don't believe them. Don't believe them. They make the craziest stories and make you believe them, and they know they're lying. Like, they know they're lying. When I got married, they came out the woodwork and said stuff that they should have been said. Like, why you ain't never tell me that? Like, now you want to say this now? Did you know I felt like that too? Me too. Like, why would you wait now? So it's just like, whatever. I don't believe them. I don't.
So they was coming out the woodworks and they was on your heels because
yes. And the guy that drugged me through hell and back that I went through my breakup, he just spilled his beans. Oh, I was just getting my shit together. We were going to live happily ever after. We was going to do this. We was going to do that. I knew you was going to be the one. But I'm like, why you wait now? Because I felt like that too. Like, why would you wait now? So, I don't know.
Yeah, people don't understand, or
because men think that we are supposed to wait for y'all to get your shit together. Right. We are supposed to be forgiving. We are supposed to be understanding. We're supposed to have patience. But who waits for us?
Right.
Who waits for us? Nobody.
See, I don't think that we want y'all to wait for us to get our shit together. I think that we just don't normally get our shit together until like
it's 30. Too late.
Yeah, until like 30 or 35. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like as long as niggas is young, you gotta expect niggas to be young. Mm-hmm. Like, they gonna be doing whatever the fuck they doing.
And you know why? I feel like that nowadays, I feel like females have made it so easy for these men. Like, they do not hold these men to their standards. Right. I feel like that a lot of females are accepting things that they should not have accepted. Right. And I feel like men have it so easy today. Back in the day, you had to walk with a girl 5 blocks just to get her phone number. Right. Now you slide in a DM and you could get her number. You could take her out. You could slide in a DM. You could send her an Uber and have her come to your crib within an hour. So it's just like, why? Why do I have to settle? Why do I have to settle?
Facts. All right. So how do you find time to be with your husband? Like, how do y'all find that time?
When the kids go to sleep, I guess. When the kids go to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, we do date nights. So I have this thing where I take one of my children out once a month. Right. So I can get to talk to them, see what's going on in their world. and I do like these random text messages. I ask my kids, is there anything that I could do better as a parent? Is there anything that I missed? Because these kids, and I was explaining this to one of these moms, I'm like, these kids go through so much and we will never know.
Right.
Like,
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
these kids really be out here battling demons. Like,
Mm.
they be out here battling demons and we don't know why. You can have a child that is so happy and so uppity, and then one day she just down and depressed and you don't know why.
Right.
It's social media, it's
Right.
the music.
Right.
They get on social media and the 16-year-olds will bust downs.
Right.
They in Miami. They doing things that grown-ups are doing, and then you got your 16-year-old and she wondering why she can't do these things.
Right.
And then you got 16-year-olds out here and they got these expensive bags and heels and shoes. And then you got your child and you like, listen, I work, mommy work, she worked to
Right.
get this stuff. You
Right.
gotta hold on. Like,
Right.
you gotta hold on.
Right.
So, they always like compare, and even adults, they compare themselves to other people
Right.
and what they see on social media, but they don't know that stuff be lies. They be lies. You could log on the media and make it seem like you well put and got your shit together. And
Right.
the moment you log out, you on an airbed
Right.
and a trap.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? I keep telling my kids, I tell my kids this all the time. I'm like, yo, don't pay attention to the media. Focus on what's in front of you.
Right.
Because what you see on social media ain't all that. It don't
Right.
never really beat it.
So do you think it's harder for them than it was, how we was coming up? Or
Absolutely.
do you think it's just different? You think it's harder for them?
I think it's harder. I told my mom the world that my mom raised me for is not the
Mm.
same world that I have to raise my kids for. These kids have to go against homosexuality. These kids have to go against everybody's smoking, everybody's drinking, everybody's partying, everybody's fucking, everybody's doing all the things of the things, right? So it's like these kids nowadays they so easily influenced. Like,
Right.
they're so easily to do the things that they're not supposed to be doing. And I feel like that back in the day, we had a village. They don't have a village now.
Right.
They don't have a village.
So what do you tell your daughters about boys, and what do you tell your sons about girls?
Oh man, my son is a thought. And I tell him all the time, you gonna get your karma. I say, listen, I tell him, man, my son, he came to Delaware, got these girls, went to DSU and lost his mind too. I tell him all the time, I be like, yo, you gotta slow down. I be telling them, and I be like, yo, at the end of the day, you gonna have a daughter and your karma gonna be crazy. And I don't, listen, my son, right? I came home from work, he had a chick in his room.
Right.
I bust open the door and she was fully garbed in her overgarments.
Right.
That pissed me off, first of all. I said, you're not even respecting yourself or your religion. I'm like,
Right.
why you in here? I'm like, you in his mom house,
Right.
in his room, y'all booed up. I'm like, no. So I started, telling her, like, this ain't that. If he really love you, he really care about you, he'll take you somewhere. He'll take you out. He'll get to know you. Like, he ain't going, the first stop ain't going to be his room.
Right.
My son was pissed, man. You hate it. Why you do that? You cop block, blah, blah, blah. I said, because I got a daughter, and I want somebody to say that to mine.
Right.
You're not about to be, ain't nobody paying house in here but me.
Right.
I'm like, you got me messed up. So
Right.
he don't even bypass here no more. He go to them and do it whoever he want. And I'm like, yeah. But I tell my daughters that, first of all, I take my kids places. Right. I told my kids no one taught me about finances. No one taught me about credit. So right. I told my daughter right now, she got an 800 credit score. My son got an 800 credit score. I tell them, like, listen, these men can't buy you. You can be already put together. Right. So when they come, make sure they come correct. I'm like, it's okay to date and talk and all that stuff, but other than that other stuff, no. Keep it cute. And I tell them all the time, like, I was in a car with my oldest. Boy was yelling at her about sharing her location. I'm telling you, never share your location. Is he gonna share his? She was like, no. I said, so why he want to know where you at all the time and he ain't ready to show you his? Right. I don't know what's up with these kids. Check your kids' phones. I don't know why they share locations. What's up with it? Why I gotta tell you where I'm at 24/7?
Right.
I said, you ain't gotta share your location. What you sharing your location for?
Right.
Oh, because he said I gotta share it.
What?
He paid his phone bill?
Thanks.
No. So why he wants to? I mean, he was full blown arguing with her.
That's crazy.
She on the phone. I turned around like, what? What's going on? What's happening?
Oh, this is what I want to ask you. All right, so at what age do you think you should have the sex conversation with the kids?
With my man, I be dreading it. So, oh my God, my son, he didn't give me a chance. Like he didn't even give me a chance. I just knew he was busting it down. Like I just knew my son was getting it in. I just knew he just started changing. Like my son
Right.
was just like a couch potato on the game. I got to beat him.
Right.
Get in the shower, watch up. He started. I see him in the shower hours. I'm like, what's going on? So.
Right.
I ain't even get a chance, but I tell them all the time, son, strap it up. Like, I'm like, strap it up, be smart, be safe. But my daughters, whew, I feel like now is the time. Like, I feel like, especially with Nala wilding out and going to DSU or whatever. So, I don't know, like, nowadays, these kids, everybody's gay. Like, Mom, I try to talk to my daughter. Mom, I'm not even into boys right now. Whatever.
Right.
It's a phase, whatever. But I think like now is the time, definitely. And I'm trying to figure out like, cause I'm blunt. I'm real with my kids because if I don't do it, who's gonna do it?
Facts.
And sometimes my kids be like, Mom, did you just say that? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I'm like, yes, I said that. So I'm trying to figure out like how to be like not so like crazy, like just be like, yo, let me tell y'all, like, let me tell y'all, but I don't know. I think
Yeah,
now is the time.
it's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's just it's not so blunt. So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I had to catch myself a couple times, like talking to my son. So my son is 19 now. He's at Shippensburg. And when my son was younger, probably like 15 or 16, he was messing with this Puerto Rican chick. And then I was like, I was like, it felt like I was like in my mind, I was on the block with like my homies. Like,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I was talking to him like that, and then I had to catch myself because I was like, yeah, because you know the Puerto Rican chicks, they got this.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta catch yourself, from saying certain things or just
Yeah.
explaining to them differently. Just
So
because
one thing about me is like I'm very observant, right? And someone can walk into the room and I can peep their whole cards. And my son doesn't like that about me sometimes because when he bring a female around, I'd be like, sorry, she's a hoe. Like I literally he be mad. Like this chick done, oh my God. My son was crying, like he was sick for 2 days, and I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
He finally tell me Shorty saying she pregnant, right? So I said, son, ask her when her last period was.
Right.
She write back some bogus stuff. I'm like, son, count back the day, blah, 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 I'm busting it down to him. He's talking about something. He sent back the girl, she's talking about something. Well, my period always act weird. Da, 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 da. He said, I didn't even know you. There's no way you know what. I said, son, you up here sick for that? Like, she wanted, I don't know what she wanted from him. She wanted them to give her some. This is it. So all my kids is on my account, right? Navy Federal. I'm sure you know how that works. He wanted my account, transfer some money, send it to her. So I said, well, what's going on? That's how I come to find out what was happening.
Right.
I said, you don't get my money back from this whore? I'm going to her mom. Like, she done got him out of, now we all done did it before. She done got him out of some money saying she was pregnant, but she really wasn't. But I'm like, yo, you got to be smart. You can't, I know I had a condom on, Mom, but she told me, I said, you really fell for this.
Right.
I'm like, you out here being grown, you being stupid. Like, but yeah, my son don't like, because I be calling it. I be on it, calling it. Like my son, he called me, it's nighttime. He called me, Mom, you got to come to the park. Now, down here, we live in the state, Delaware. You know, they got the state parks, they close at a certain time. Right. He's like, Mom, you got to come to the park. I'm like, well, what I got to come to the park? He said, the cops. Me, automatically, my son black, he in the park, I jump up. My husband like, what's going on? So he come with me.
Right.
I'm panicking the whole time. He in the park busting it down and got caught.
Now you got caught in the park smashing.
Like, I'm like, you got me about to have a heart attack.
Right.
Like, you gotta be smart. Down here is different. This ain't Philly. You can't pull it 100 to part. Like, this ain't that. So yeah, no. I'm telling you, these teenagers is very different. Raising them is different. I don't know, like all these kids, like you say something to them, and all of a sudden they're suicidal.
Right.
They don't want to be here. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of that. They all smoking weed. Like all these kids are smoking weed or smoking vapes.
Right.
I'm telling them, like, telling my kids, like, y'all better not put y'all lips on no vapes. Like, do y'all know what that do to y'all? Right. My daughter, she texted me in school. She like, Mommy, in here doing mushrooms. Y'all better not do no damn mushrooms. What is wrong with y'all? So you guys, I'm telling y'all have to have conversations with y'all children. Y'all have to figure out what's going on, because these kids, they be in schools, they be in parties, they be with other kids. You could be on top of your kids 24/7, and then they go over somebody else's house and the parents not even near. You know what I'm saying? And something go down. So yeah, I talk to my kids all the time. I be telling them, like, listen, don't take nothing from nobody, don't drink from nobody, don't do none of that.
I'm gonna tell you how my daughter fooled me, right? My daughter is watching this TV show, and I'm like, all right, it's this little Disney chick. I'm not really paying no attention. The whole time she's watching Euphoria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what the fuck is going on in this show.
Oh my God.
So she's like, I don't know if she was like 15 or 16 or something. And she's watching Euphoria like it's the religions, like, and I don't know what's going on in this show. You know, life is life.
What's going on is this thing.
Right, life is life, and I'm working or whatever. I'm not paying it no attention, but she's entrenched in Euphoria. So when I finally get around to watching this shit, I'm like, oh, that's why she started acting crazy. Oh, that's why it was this is that going on. So yeah, you have to pay attention to the shit you're watching.
Let me tell you something. I'm working crazy because I'm in the process of buying this house, right? So I'm working 7 days a week. I'm working. My daughter started acting crazy out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with her? I'm talking about bust out crying, sad, depressed, blah. Whole time she listen to Ride Wave every single day.
Oh, that's my sons listen to that shit.
I'm like, what? I said, if you listen to Ride Wave one more time, I'm telling you, like, your ass is going to the crazy house. I'm not dealing with this. Like, I'm not. I'm like, what? You have nothing to be sad. What are you crying for?
Exactly.
Like, Mom, I don't know. I listened to it for one day. I had to put it in my ear. I had to figure out, why is he so sad and depressed? Like, what? He not had one happy day. Not one.
Right.
Not
That's
one happy day.
Right.
He's sad, depressed, and struggling every day.
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
All right. So what are you going to do with Aiden?
Man, that's my problem, chat. Man, and let me tell you something. Aiden, listen, he been here before. He listen. This boy and the girls. Right. He told me the other day, man, you starting to piss me off. I said, what? You 10-year-old.
How old is he 10. Now? 10. Okay.
10. And then this boy, right? He is, oh my God. And he takes a long time to get dressed. He has to have a white beater on. He has his white beater and his socks have to match. He just I don't know why he's like that. He's really into his body. He doesn't like juice. He doesn't eat certain meats. He always eat a salad. Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with him. I really don't. I really question my whole existence when it comes to him. Like I'm like, why is he like this?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
So are the girls coming after him yet?
Yeah, the girl chased him home from school the other day. Like, and I'm like, and then he on the phone all night with this girl. I'm like, where's her parents? Like,
Right.
I really, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Now he want dreads. I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? You have good hair. Mom, I want dreads. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking because now it's 16 and Aiden is 10. Like,
Right.
I don't know what happened. Like, what was I thinking? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. I don't. And he's so advanced. Like,
Right.
he be saying stuff that I have to question myself. Like, did he just say that?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that he has that point of view of watching his older siblings, so he
I
gets
think
everything.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he
I think
gets
so.
everything. So he's going to be moving at a extremely faster pace than everybody.
Yeah. And I tell him, I always be like, yo, you got to slow down because I don't
Right.
want you to crash out because you
Right.
have to slow down like you really do. But he just be like, and then he's like, oh my God, he's like so weird. Like, Aiden is like weird. Like, he's like a mixture of like really smart and like really hood. Like,
Right.
so it's like really weird. Like, he's a really weird kid.
All right. What do you like? How do you would you feel like something is missing like once all the kids is gone?
Hell yeah. I don't want my kids to leave. And my sisters yell at me all the time about this. Like, I honestly like I just want them to stay here forever. Like, I don't think because my brother told me I wrap my world around my children so much that I probably like won't be able to make it without them. Like, I'll probably
Right.
go with them, like go find them.
Right.
But honestly, I want my children to stay here, but I want to leave them. You know what I'm saying? I want to, you all stay here and mommy leaves.
Right. Right.
But
Right. Just so you know that they safe, they good.
yeah.
That's crazy. All right. So what is your biggest lesson, in motherhood and marriage? What is your biggest life lessons?
My biggest life lessons is that I am not in control. And that hit me so hard. And I have a hard time dealing with it because I'm like, um, I'm the type of person that I have to have control. Like, I plan my day out. Like, right, things have to go the way that I want it to go. Um, I'm really structured, right? But life has taught me that no matter how much I plan, life will life. Things
Right.
will happen. It will be out of our control, and you have to deal with it. Um, I have learned that no matter how good of a person that you is to somebody, that
Right.
life is still going to happen. Like, life is still going to happen. Like, I felt like that if it wasn't for my relationship with God, then I feel like that I would be lost in so many ways, right? I feel like that even with raising kids, you could be the best parent in the world. I came from a two-parent home. My parents was phenomenal. I went to private school my whole life. Like, my parents were phenomenal. The stuff that I did on my own was on me. I was
Right.
fighting. I got pregnant at a young age. I was terrible. I was terrible. So I learned that it's not about you, it's
Right.
about the child, right?
Right.
These kids go do whatever they want to do. I cannot beat
Right.
myself up about it. Like, my cousin asked me today why I wasn't losing myself when Nala and them had that stuff going on, because why would I stress myself out when it's already done?
Right.
It's already done. You know what I'm saying? We have to live from it and we have to move on. So, the biggest lesson is to learn that I have learned is that I am not in control. I'm not in control over how these children act. I'm not in control how my marriage goes. I'm not in control of how life happens. all I can do is just go with it. That's all I can do is just go with it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if there's one thing that you can go back and change, what would that be?
If it was one thing I could go back and change, is how I handle certain situations. I'm the type of person, if you do something to me, I won't deal with you, right? I'll block you and I'll go on about my life. Like, I am a one and done person. And things had to happen for me to get to that point. So now I'm just like, I'm not dealing with it. And that's my defense mechanism. If you do something I don't like, you're done. You're out of my world. I have done that and lost 3 people that was close to me, and they were blocked. And I didn't get a chance to say bye. I didn't get a chance to talk to them or none of that. I had to go on social media, or I had to hear from a family member that they were gone.
Right.
So now I know that nothing is too deep. I don't block. Like, I try not to block. I try to deal with the situation at hand. If you did something to me, I'm going to tell you that you did something to me, and we're going to talk about it. I try not to block anybody or hold anything against anybody, because life is so short.
Okay. All right. My final question is, I need an answer for men and for women. What would you say, they need to do better to compromise or to end the gender wars, to try to find love again, basically?
God. First of all, communication. Communication. I feel like that y'all have to forget all the things that y'all thought y'all knew, because again, we're in 2024, and this is not a grocery list, right? You just have to go with the flow. And I feel like that men need to be men. Let's get back to when men is men.
Okay.
And I feel like women need to be women. Like, it's nothing. And men needs to be men and women needs to be women. And I feel like that women need to stop chasing men and let men find them.
Okay.
That's all, folks. That's all, folks. I feel like sis, answer them DMs. Answer them DMs.
Answer them DMs.
Answer them DMs. Men, slide in them DMs. And stop letting other people tell you something about somebody else. Like, if you digging that person, talk to that person. Don't let nobody tell you anything about that person that stop you from talking to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people be hating. They be hating.
Right. All right. I do want to know this though before we go. Your friend circle.
Mm-hmm.
How are you with your friend circle? Is it just your kids and your family, or do you have an outside friend circle that you vent to?
No. So I only had boys as friends. All my friends were boys. So when I got married, they hated it. Every last one of them hated it. Even though my husband is some of their friends, they hated it. Right. They absolutely hated it. And one of them, it hurt me to my heart, because we were like close. Like that was my brother. We were like, we go on trips together. We talked every day. He literally cut me off.
That's crazy.
Cut me off. So I barely have time for myself.
Right.
When I come to Philly, I try to see some of my girlfriends, but no, I don't have a friend circle no more.
How did your husband feel about you having mostly guy friends?
He didn't really care, but he didn't care at the beginning, but now he's just like, no. No. No, he didn't care in the beginning, because, like I said, they all was his friends.
Right.
It was all his friends. But yeah, no. That I don't know. Like, it is like, all right, y'all dating. That's cool. That's cute. Right. But then it was like, I'm getting married. They was just like, bye, bitch, you tripping. And they just stopped talking to me.
Do you feel like y'all closer in marriage?
Honestly, no. I feel like that we are still like working on some things. Like I feel like um we could get better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. All
Mhm.
right. I want to say thank you for coming on Intimate
Of
Conversation.
course. Of
This was a
course.
great talk. Um, good luck with the village over there.
I'll join your sneaker talk next time.
That's what's up because I know you got some pieces.
Of
You be over
course.
there hold out.
All right.
But have a good one. Whoa, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name.